In today's TCI 10, we're going to be talking about all of the rich visual material inside of TCI's programs, along with the strategies for teaching with those visual materials. First, let's start with the visual discovery strategy. This is where students view, interpret, and bring to life compelling visuals as they answer a series of spiral questions from basic to critical thinking, leading to discovery of key social studies concepts. Here I've laid out for you all of the visual discovery lessons that are available in each TCI program. As you can see, each program includes multiple opportunities for students to engage in the visual discovery analysis process. We're going to take a look at an example from the 8th grade program, History Alive, the United States Through Industrialism. Now, if you didn't have this list and you wanted to search for where visual discovery lessons are located, you can go to Control or Command on a Mac and hit F. And if you type in the word visual discovery, you can scroll through and find all of the visual discovery lessons quickly. In this case, we're going to take a look at Lesson 14, Andrew Jackson and the Growth of American Democracy. So now I'm inside of the lesson as it looks for a teacher. And you can see when I open this as a teacher, it defaults to the lesson guides. In this case, the visual discovery activity is built into the core activity of the program. So I have a few different options for accessing the presentations. I have the complete classroom activity slideshow, and then I have it broken down into its various individual parts. Since this is embedded into the core activity, I'm going to go to that presentation. When I'm ready to present, I can go into present mode. And you can see this gives me all of the background and context as a teacher to teach this lesson. And it tells me about the suggested time frame for doing this. And it also provides all of the individual directions. So this helps me plan as a teacher, but it also helps me to actually deliver the instruction to students. So it gives us a step-by-step for how we're going to analyze these visual sources. And you'll notice this includes the entire process of the visual discovery strategy. That includes the analysis itself, along with the interactive notebook exercises, and also bringing the images to life. Notice here how the questions spiral. That is, they move from more basic type of questions to more complex questions. Now, let's suppose I need to truncate this lesson a little bit and I'm not able to go through the full visual discovery strategy. I think it's worthwhile to do so, but there may be times when you simply want to eliminate some components of the lesson. The nice thing about all of these TCI presentations is that they are customizable. To start with, you can edit the presentation if you'd like, and that is simply by clicking on the Edit Text button here. So you may give some different directions. And you can also determine which slides you'd like to hide in your presentation. So if you're only going to do the visual analysis in a particular lesson and not go through the interactive notebook or the acted out presentations, you can always hide those slides and just focus on the visual analysis if you want to. One final note I'll make about the presentations is that you also have the ability to push these presentations to students' accounts. So here you can see I've already shared this. If I click that button, it will ask me if I want to unshare. But if I want students to be able to access this presentation on their device, they can do that as well. So that is an example of what the visual discovery strategy looks like. The next two strategies we're going to take together, the social studies, skill builder strategy, and the writing for understanding. In this case, we're focusing specifically on the use of TCI placards. Now, not all lessons of skill builder and writing for understanding involve placards, so we're just going to highlight a few of those that do. The placards are actual physical objects. They come in a package. If you teach grades 8 through 11, those packages are provided for you through our adoption. If you're teaching grades 6 and 7, because those are custom programs, we can provide those for you. We don't want that to be a barrier, but I also want to show you today how you can print all of these placards from the TCI program. So the placards consist of all types of visuals, works of art, paintings, photographs, political cartoons, maps, charts, etc. And they are built around these two TCI strategies. The skill builder strategy, in which students work in pairs to complete skill-oriented tasks, such as mapping, graphing, identifying perspectives, and interpreting artwork or political cartoons. And the writing for understanding, in which students engage in interactive experience like viewing powerful images, role-playing, discussing complex issues, or acting out key events in order to develop their ideas and opinions before they begin writing. So let's take a look at where these are located inside your program. So here again, I've outlined, again, just the skill builder and writing for understanding exercise that use placards. So these are available in all of the programs. And again, 8 through 11 are provided through a package, but you can also print them from the website. And if you want the placards in grades 6 and 7, we'll get those for you so that that's not a barrier for implementation. So let's take a look again inside of our 8th grade program. So instead of lesson guides, this time I'm going to go to materials. Now, again, these strategies are embedded into lesson guides in the same way the visual discovery is. But in this case, we're going to go to materials because placards are primarily designed to be delivered in face-to-face hands-on environment. So they are in printable PDF format. So we're going to choose a lesson here. And you can see in the materials tab that everything is provided here, the interactive notebooks, the handouts, and for lessons that involve placards, those will be available as well. So I think we need to go to lesson 17 here, and you can see there are placards available, and we'll open those up. Now, again, I can deliver this in a virtual environment, or I can do these in the classroom simply by pulling up the placards. And in this case, the placards actually have questions associated with them already on the placards. That's not the case for all of the TCI placards. Some of them are just the visual material. So these can be done in small groups, in partners, or it can be done class-wide if you want to pull it up on a device and do it that way. But again, these are printable PDFs and available in hard copy. So before we leave this topic of visual material, I just want to throw in a few bonus points here. One is a way to adapt the TCI visual material using the gallery walk strategy. And in this strategy, students work in pairs to explore multiple texts or images that are placed around the room. And the students complete primary source analysis guides. And you can get those guides either from the Library of Congress or the National Archives, and they're slightly different types of analysis guides. So this is just an adaptation that you can do using any of the visual material that's inside of TCI. You can also use a tool called the Crop It tool to help students analyze visuals. And for this, students use a cropping tool to frame a portion of an image and then respond to specific parts of the image before interpreting the image's overall meaning and impact. So in other words, you can either create this tool virtually simply by cropping an image, or you have students cut out, usually it's one square of a sheet of standard size paper and place it over top of the visual so that they can simply analyze portions of it to see more detail. So you can do this with visual discovery or with Skill Builder or any of the placard activities associated with the Skill Builder or Writing for Understanding. Again, I want to emphasize one more gem here that you'll find inside of TCI, and that is that there are more visuals. Even though the visual discovery strategy, along with the placard sets, are built into the program, there are many visuals inside of the TCI textbook. And so anytime you're in the TCI textbook, you can actually zoom in on an image. And let's go ahead and do that just to show you what that looks like. We'll just pick any particular lesson here. And this time we're going to go to text rather than to lesson guides. So this is exactly what students see in their program. And not only can I zoom in, but I can also, this employs what we used to call magic paper, and this still works if you have a projection system in your classroom, and that is you simply sort of hone in on specific details here. So you can do this with any visual material that's inside of the TCI text, and you can apply the strategies, the Skill Builder, the Writing for Understanding, or the Visual Discovery strategies, or you can also right-click and either save the image or open it in a new tab and then print it out, and you could make your own placards. So what I want to emphasize here is, again, the idea of the flexibility behind everything that's inside of TCI, so that it's not simply to necessarily have to follow each strategy as it's laid out, although in many cases you might do that, but also to recognize that there are ways to adapt and to utilize the material that's there for visual analysis. The final point I'll make is just that there are some additional resources in the reference section. So, and this varies a little bit from program to program, but again, in the reference section on the left, you will see a video library, which provides some good visual material. And you will also see a maps section here. So those are also good for visual analysis strategies.